I think the concern is, you know, how do we keep our eye on what you're keeping our eye on, right? Which is the specific way that white supremacy is working and the excessive heaviness of that. But also know that, you know, the system that is beneath that, or that is primarily being reinforced by that hand, is one that could easily become something that Black people would continue to be invested in, which is not all that different from an aristocratic investment, right? One could find oneself being, you know, comfortable with a predatory capitalism as long as there's no racism involved. You know, and then the predatoriness would be evenly distributed by race and gender. And I'd be like, wait, hold on, time out. You know, we got a little bit of one devil we know off our back, but we added up, you know, the full Monty of another one. So I think part of the question is, you know, and that's where the spiritual dimension, I think, comes back in, right? Which is when you know this legacy and the experience of Black people and you honor it and you attend to it and you respect it, then you hopefully, not Democrat, Republican, skip that, but you hopefully know that human suffering is something that we want to slow down and end. We want to, right? And that isn't going to be just white supremacy, right? That's going to be human suffering in a broad way. So I think that's what we were just tussling with there.
Yeah, but I don't think you don't get rid of white supremacy if you have the opportunity to do it.
Oh no, I'm thinking about the South right now, Charles. You got.
And I look at a place like Atlanta. Atlanta became majority Black in 1970. 1972, Maynard Jackson becomes the first Black mayor, and they have had a Black mayor ever since. Right. And they have grown a Black middle class. They have created the largest body of Black legislators in the country. Six of them coming from New York, Atlanta proper. Mm-hmm. It changes the dynamic. It doesn't mean that they got rid of all poverty. In Atlanta.
Right.
No,
right. It just means that this is what it looks like when you take a lot of the white supremacy off the municipal level.
Off the table. Right.
It takes it off the table, and then you start to say, oh, okay. Now there's some other stuff that the state needs to do that we still have a governor in there who won't respond, but municipally, there's a lot that was able to be accomplished.
Right.
Now the next level is to take that to the state level. Right. And now let's see how much more of that white supremacy we can remove. And you keep moving up that ladder. And then once you see what the baseline is, we don't know what the baseline is for Black autonomy and Black power and Black prosperity, because we have never had it in the absence of white supremacy. Don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah.
We can speculate that, you know, this is going to happen, that's going to, we have no clue. We've never been there.
And it's worth not knowing and still trying to find out compared to what we know the other alternative is. Yes. That's that we know. That's the devil. Now, which one's the devil we know?
Racism is the devil you know.
You got a beautiful moment, though, on page 187. When you talk about this vision of just no oppression, Black folk being able to flower and flourish with no impediments at all. You know, I've been blessed to teach in prisons for over 40 years. And one of the great anthems of the brothers, we always play this song, is Zoom by the Commodores. Yes. See, that's the anthem, you see. Zoom, I like to fly away. Well, I like to fly away. Well, I like to fly away. This whole sense of getting some distance from all of this mess, this hatred and contempt and misery and so forth. And it's a flying away. It's not just flying away like we sing in church, which is going off to heaven, but it's just sense of being in a space, in time and space, where we can get some sense of what it is to be who we fundamentally are.
Yes.
And when we get there, we know already we human.
Yes.
So we're gonna have saints and gangsters. We're gonna have thugs and magnificent, because that's all in us anyway. But that's what you're talking about, and brother, that's one of the reasons why, you know, we want to salute you so, because you're a love warrior in this great tradition of Black people who have been still loving Black people in the face of all this hatred coming our way. And the real sense was we don't have enough of folk like you in the Black elite. I'm gonna come back to the elite again. Aristocracy, middle class, bourgeois, whatever you want to call them. You know what I mean? And of course, this is also true among the Black poor, because you don't speak the truth just to power, you speak the truth to the powerless too, right? And so that whole sense of love connected to vision, analysis, intellectual engagement, smile, style, witness. They get better than that.
No, we appreciate it. They get better than that. Yeah, that's really true. You put something on my mind for sure. I'll tell you that.
No, but Charles done a deep thing.
Yeah, I agree. And you have a legacy of this very courageous exploration, really. You know, I mean, your first memoir was incredibly powerful.
Yeah, that fire in the bones.
I mean,
and working with Terrence, the great Terrence.
Yes, amazing.
Ooh, what a genius that brother is. Good. We won't even go into this. His genius right now.
Yeah, but yeah, I was like, well, I don't see how he's going to be able to, you know, unsettle me anymore or get me more emotionally engaged. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I got to, no, I was like, nah. And I'm like, okay, I really have to deal with this. so thank you for all you're doing here. This is really powerful.